Friday. Yeah, baby. We made it. We made it. What's up, one and all? Hope you guys are doing great out there. Welcome into the program. I am Rob Ellis. He is Tone DeShields in for D Gun. Tone, what's up, my man? How you doing?
Oh, man, Rob, like you said, it's Friday. I feel tremendous. I'm elated. I'm looking forward to what's to come. Blessed by the best, man. And I'm even more blessed to be able to chill here with you, man, to be able to kick it with the people. So I appreciate you. It was funny. I was telling you off air, if you guys haven't already checked out that Brian Dawkins interview from yesterday, make sure you guys go check that out. That was a hell of a conversation we had with the legend, the one and only Weapon X, Brian Dawkins. He has an exclusive trading card that that came out with Spectre Sports Art. With the artist
sportsart.com, or you go to BrianDawkinsFoundation.com.
Exactly. And the artist is Jordan Spector, Philly native. And I was telling Rob off air, my dad saw the interview and he was like, listen, man, that interview was so dope. You guys asked all the right questions. I had to order me one of those exclusive Brian Dawkins Weapon X cards, man. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. So I'm sitting here like, wow, man, that's pretty cool, man. Word of mouth still holds true these days, man. It was pretty cool.
You know what? There is something really gratifying when a parent says to you, like, good job, or I really like that, or whatever. I mean, there's something, it's a little different when that's the case, man. So I'm glad. That's very cool. Very cool that your dad is, and mention that to you too. That's cool. What's up, Fact Checker? What's up, James Jones? The Fees. What's up, Brotherly Tough? Wheels. Steve Ike. I see you guys. Whoever I didn't get. Oh, let me get every single person. Tyler, Mr. Taz, Killer Ferret, Rome V, Jim G, Anthony, Donnell. I think I got everybody. What's up? Hope you guys are doing great out there. Bry Guy, how you doing? Happy Friday. You want to do a Friday check-in like we do from time to time, Mr. Taz?
Yeah,
everybody wants to do it. Yeah, tell us where you're at, where you're coming from, what part of the world.
Where you checking in from, where you're at, where you've been, where you reside.
Because we do, it's weird, right? When the Eagles have the bye week, your brain is split in half. There's the logical side that says, what's up, Riz? When the logical side says they're tired, they're beat up, this team needs some time off. You got some older players. Obviously you got Jalen Hurts dealing with a knee and not just him, a lot of guys. So they need the time off. Okay, that's all well and good. Then there's the other side of your brain, the one that gets you in trouble a lot of times. The side of your brain that says, man, forget that. I need my Eagles fix every single weekend, and I'm a little bummed that they're not playing this weekend. And I'll be honest, I'm having both sides of my brain doing that. Chris D, what's up, girl? Yes, she is in Lisbon in Portugal. She's studying at the University of Lisbon in Portugal. James is in Kansas City. Yeah, awesome, man, awesome. Mr. Taz is in media, not far from me. What else do we have here? Killer Ferret's in Berks County. Brotherly Tough is in Cherry Hill. James is in Richmond, Virginia. Beautiful place. Raised in Philly is Wheels, but he's now down there in Florida. Can't fault you. Riz is in Atlanta.
No state tax. I ain't mad at that.
No, man. M. Reyes is on his way to Arkansas.
Okay.
And Jim G, how many hours to the Eagles and Chiefs? Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
We're killing me, man.
We're never, I'm never going to de-gun you to death and put that pressure on you. I'm not going to do that to you.
Here's what we'll do, and hold me to it, Tone. Okay. After the break, I'll do some quick math. I can't. Okay. That kind of math. I need to take my shoes off and use my toes and my fingers when I'm adding that high up. So I need a little work on that one. All right.
Absolutely. It's so funny. You brought up something interesting, right? About how, you're craving your Philadelphia Eagles this weekend, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually on the other side of that. I need the break.
You need a bye week.
I need the bye week emotionally, spiritually, physically, because I'm such a diehard, and I pull no punches about it. I'm shameless about it.
Yeah.
I know as a sports pundit, it's important for me to be unbiased or as unbiased as I possibly can be. And I feel like I'm pretty. I feel like I can be pretty stern on the Eagles when I need to be.
Yeah.
But when I'm watching the games, I'm militant as hell, Rob.
You're hardcore.
I am a good soldier. I am a company man. I'm locked in with these Philadelphia Eagles.
I get that.
I'm so emotionally tied in. Every down, every catch, every throw. I'm glued. My wife will tell you I'm not the funnest person to be around when the games are rolling.
Yeah.
And it turns into it becomes physical with me. If things aren't going right, I get a tummy ache. It gets bad. It gets bad for me, Rob. I'll tell you that right now.
You know what? There is something nice to just sitting there at 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, Sunday night, Monday, whatever. When you don't have a stake in this thing, when it's just kind of like, woo, all right, let me do some scouting. Let me just chill here and just be a regular casual fan. I get that. There is something to be said for that, for sure. By the way, let me just continue. Fact checker, South Carolina, my man. Rome V is in San Bernardino, California, beautiful area. Jim G is in Swanksville. Dablo is in Alberta, Canada. Awesome. Lansdale for Jason, like that. Back home in Camden for Anthony. Churchville for Bry Guy. Who else? Where else are we? I'm just trying to get everybody some love here. Spa City, Gunner and his family saying prayers. Appreciate that. And I know Tone just put in the chat where you can go to the GoFundMe. Let me get to that 1 second. Hot Springs, Arkansas for Spa City Chop. All right. Oh, and Kevin is checking in from New Hampshire. All right. So I mentioned this yesterday on the show, and I want to reiterate it again. So the reason Derek hasn't been on this week, and Tone's done an awesome job in that seat, and we appreciate Tone. So let me just say that first of all. But the reason he hasn't been there is, unfortunately, his wife, Trish, has gone through some pretty serious medical issues to which she's being treated right now. And the full story, the full explanation is on Derek Gunn's Facebook page. There's a GoFundMe page for Trish, who's Derek's wife, and Derek. And the expense, and this is going to be a very expensive situation for them because it's a long-term situation. She's fortunately getting out of the hospital and going into a rehab, which is progress, because there is progress being made. I want to be clear about that, because I check in, and we both do check in with Derek every day. There's progress being made, so there's positivity here. But it's a long road. It's not getting over the flu or getting over a cold. It's a pretty serious thing. So anything that you can do would be helpful. If you can't, we get it. Just good, kind thoughts and some prayers is good enough too. So appreciate you guys.
Here's what's so awesome about this, right? Not just with D-Gun being an awesome dude, him coming from a stand-up family, him being, just a gentleman in every way, a leader in every way, a motivator in every way. What's so awesome about this, right? And the power of, we spoke about word of mouth, right? And we spoke and we mentioned how my father bought a trading card because he watched the Brian Dawkins interview. Mm-hmm. That's one trading card down, many more to be sold, right, for Brian Dawkins. Yep. We posted this GoFundMe only yesterday on the show.
Right.
Yesterday, the GoFundMe was at $1,130. That was just yesterday, only 24 hours from now.
Right.
$1,130. Today, it's at $18,301.
That's awesome, man. And that's
the power of you guys. The power of people, the power of love, the power of faith, the power of true friendship and camaraderie. Listen, the sports stuff, we all love that, and we all go back and forth, and it's all fun and games. But, at the end of the day, there's a human element to this thing. And, there are people in real lives involved in everything we do. And, we're a product of, our families. We're all a product of, our lineage, our legacies. We're a product of our environments. And it's important to always pay homage and, love people while you have the opportunity to. And the amount of love you guys have been providing to Derek Gunn, his wife, Trish, his family, you guys have no idea how much what this does for him in her recovery. Again, and when just 24 hours, it went from $1,100 to over $18,000. You guys, that's incredible. Awesome. That's incredible. So
thank you, everybody.
You guys should be proud of yourselves. You guys, you guys should be elated. It means so much to us as his friends, and I'm pretty sure he's grateful.
He's going through something very serious today too with another family member. I'll just leave it at that. So it has been an extremely challenging time for the Gunn family, period. Like the last thing they needed was something else on top of an already very serious situation. So just keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And if you can do anything, Tone just laid it out beautifully, man. What's happened in the last 24 hours speaks to the amount of good people that are out there, man. So thanks. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Absolutely, guys.
Any good thoughts up there from all of you guys? I can't do it today. So if you're wondering why I'm situated in essentially my dining room and kitchen, I had and I'm not comparing this in any way to Derek. I'm just telling you the locale looks a little bit different. I had a flood that went from my upstairs bathroom into a downstairs bathroom that ruined the ceiling in my basement, in my basement bathroom, and the wall in my basement bathroom. So I have the great folks from Pro Action Restoration here with these industrial. I showed Tone this yesterday. These industrial fans that are, woo, they are no joke, dude. Okay, let me tell you. But they're pretty loud. So I couldn't do the show from downstairs, and it's a mess down there, as you would. I got plastic wrap all over the place. It's a whole thing. So anyway, that's why. I can imagine. Yeah, that's why it's a different look here. So anyway, but thank you guys. Thanks everybody for everything you've done there for D-Gun. All right, so a couple things here, Tony. And by the way, let me also mention Veterans Day tomorrow. So thank you to everybody who has served, who is serving. We appreciate you. That we can sit here and talk sports and have fun and laugh a little bit because we have that kind of freedom that a lot of people don't. So thank you to our veterans, number one. And birthday shout out, Tone. The Marine Corps is 248 years old today.
Wow.
Happy 248 to the Marines. Yeah. So
wow, man. I have such a huge respect for people who are willing to sacrifice and leave their families, to protect us. And you got to always respect those people who, again, make the ultimate sacrifice. And it's no small feat. They're putting themselves, they travel all across the world, and in whatever capacity, they're helping protect us, be it if you're in technology, if you're on the front lines, if you're try to do your best and be an honest politician,
right?
All those who have sacrificed in the military, I got a lot of respect for those kind of people.
Well said. Well said.
And I love military movies, so it's just I always have a deep reverence for people who can do things that I'm unsure that I would be capable of doing. So,
speaking of that,
yeah.
let's go there for a second. We'll get to the sports stuff in a second, I promise.
For sure.
All right. So, oh, nice, Ty. Thank you. Served in the Army for 10 years, man. That's
wow, man. Thank you for your service, Ty. Appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate it very much. All right, I will say this. The opening scene of Saving Private Ryan, to me, oh, thank you, James. Thank you.
Shout out to James.
Yeah, thanks, man. The opening scene of Saving Private Ryan, to me, is one of the most, greatest doesn't do it justice. It's the most dynamic scene I've maybe ever seen. If you've seen the movie, they're essentially coming up to the beaches of Normandy, and they're being fired upon in their boat. I think it's the movie that most puts you in. Lone Survivor's great too, MC. You're right about that. But puts you in the mindset and the understanding of what these guys were facing, in that time. Credit to Spielberg. No surprise there. Thank you, Rome. Served in the Navy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
But yeah, and by the way, anybody wants to throw up there that they served, we will certainly give you love. Appreciate it.
For sure. It's so funny. Two of my favorite military movies are Black Hawk Down and Tears of the Sun with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
I love those two movies. Those two movies actually brought tears in my eyes. You know what I mean? So
incredible. Yeah. Platoon is an incredible movie. Oliver Stone served in the Marines, so he knows. He knew of what he spoke. So yeah, I mean, there's so many. Band of Brothers, if you haven't seen them, the series is absolutely spectacular. I mean, nothing short of spectacular. Patton is great. I see Fact Checker, Patton, and Platoon. I'm with you on that one. There's so many. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna miss a lot of good ones.
Yeah, and look, it's so interesting. The thing about military movies, you can always, they can always be, really serious, and sometimes you get something that has a little humor involved, such as Full Metal Jacket. that one was really intense. You know what I mean?
It dances that line, man.
It dances that line. It finds the humor in the darkness for sure.
Yeah, what a performance. Vincent D'Onofrio, man. Oh my God. And Arlie Ermy, who was actually a longtime drill sergeant who became an actor.
That was the actual the guy.
He was the drill sergeant. Yeah.
This is my rifle. This is my gun.
Correct.
This is for fighting. This is for fun. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, again, the Jarhead was good too. I like
was
Jarhead.
Really good.
Jamie
Glory, yes. Nice pull, Rome. Glory,
Denzel.
Great.
Yep. Bridge on the River Kwai.
Matthew Broderick. Yep.
You guys are all naming like killers here. They're all spectacular.
Yeah. Netflix has this animated military series. I forget what it's called. It was so dope. I'm going to pull it. Rob, you
Okay.
keep talking, but it's so dope. It's one of the greatest military things I've ever seen.
I didn't see CB. I'm sorry, Steve. You are a CB. Okay, yeah. I thought CB was a movie. Yeah. Appreciate your service as well, man.
The Liberator. That's what it's called. The Liberator. The
Oh,
Liberator.
okay.
If you ever get a chance to watch that on Netflix, it's called The Liberator. It's one of those anime. It's like real live action, but it's almost like they drew over top of the actual actors, and it's like an anime. It looks hand drawn.
Wow.
It's like they shot it normally, but then they somehow found a way to animate real life people and kind of drew over them, and it makes them look like stenciled and like it's such a masterpiece. It's a series. The Liberator. It's really good, Rob. If you ever get the chance to watch that, The Liberator.
Right. We'll do. All right, appreciate it, everybody. So hit a couple of things. Mention the Eagles are off until a week from Monday against the Chiefs. Sixers at Detroit. Anita, appreciate your family for all that they've done. Thank you. The Sixers are at Detroit. Two polar opposite teams, Tone. Sixers have won 6 straight. Detroit has lost 6 straight. And that's one of those in-season tournament games. Pretty appreciative fitness roofer, with your grandfather serving and your aunt as well. And then the Flyers are at Anaheim tonight. See if they can kind of get going here because it's been pretty ugly of late for them. Bryce Harper takes home some hardware. He wins the Silver Slugger Award at the designated hitter spot, which is, all the more impressive because the guy basically missed a month plus coming back from Tommy John surgery on his elbow, and then learned a new position on the fly, basically, that he had never played in his life. I mean, the guy is just an absolute monster on so many levels. So
yeah, man.
Kudos to him. All right, let me throw this out there, and I want everybody to jump in here on the chat as well on this one, and I'll pose this to you, Tone. All right, here's what we know the Eagles have coming up. At Kansas City, Buffalo home, San Fran home, at Dallas, at Seattle. That's the next 5 when they get off. 5. Okay, I know. Toughest stretch that it is. I mean, literally, it's the toughest stretch of any team, any 5-game stretch that any team has this entire NFL season. All right, that's not an opinion. That's a fact in terms of record, strength of schedule, and all that stuff. Okay, so the question I have for you, Tone, for everybody listening, streaming, everybody in the chat, what will their record be at the end of that 5-game stretch? Not the end of the season, the end of those 5 games. What will the Eagles' record be during those 5 games?
I've thought about this, and obviously we spoke yesterday about if they go 4-1 during that stretch, Jalen Hurts is definitely going to win MVP. Yeah. If they go 5-0 somehow, which would be insane. Yeah. He's definitely winning the MVP. But I always try to keep it as realistic as possible. These teams get paid too. These teams are talented or as talented as the Philadelphia Eagles. And then obviously injuries play a part. I think it's entirely realistic that the Philadelphia Eagles go 3-2 over this stretch. I think 3-2 is, and you and I spoke about this, right? With 13 being the magic number, if they win 13 games, that should be good enough to snatch the number 1 seed in the conference, and obviously win the division. But I think 3-2 is entirely feasible. I think they find a way to beat Kansas City on the road. I think they find a way to win that game. I think they beat Buffalo at home. I think they find a way to beat San Fran at home. I think they lose to the Cowboys on the road. And then I think they beat Seattle on the road. Wow. I know you're not I know you're not really confident about going to Seattle.
I don't. Seattle's like kryptonite, man.
But I am. I'm pretty confident going into Seattle. At least as it stands right now, right? And who knows where the Seattle Seahawks will be by then.
That's true.
But they've been I don't want to say exposed, but there is definitely some flaws in their operation. So I got them going. So that's 4-1 I actually said.
You have 4-1. Yeah.
So that's actually they match up what I said. So they're going to lose 2 games in my opinion somewhere along here. I'm having a hard time finding the second game. I think that's my biggest thing. So I got them going 3-2. I think they're going to lose to Dallas. I just have a hard time finding the second win.
Okay,
second loss.
Okay. Well, here's what I think is fascinating, right? I don't mean Kansas City because they're coming off a bye also, but where are these other teams going to be at that point?
Exactly.
Buffalo right now, can't get their act together. And Buffalo has to almost win out. If not win out, they can only maybe afford to lose like 2 more games the rest of the way, because they're 5-4 now. So where's Buffalo in 2 weeks, or whatever it is, 3 weeks when the Eagles play them? San Francisco, they've dropped 3 straight. So where are the Niners going to be at that point? It looks like they're getting reinforcements back. Debo, Trent Williams appears to be really close, but where are they going to be at that point? Dallas has also put themselves in a position where they essentially either can't lose or can only lose like a game or 2 more. If they want to be, win the division or have the 1 seed or anything like that, they probably can't lose 2 more games. Dallas, they're really up against it.
Yeah, they're flirting on a razor's edge.
They really are. And the other one you brought up is exactly right. Like Seattle, I don't know. Do you feel confident Geno's going to get it together and look like Geno of last year, or is he going to look like more like Geno that we've seen most of his career?
No, because I don't have any confidence that he's going to automatically just flip the switch and become Geno of last year. Let's really think about this upcoming schedule for them. They have Washington, who, in my opinion, Washington is dangerous in terms.
I think they'll hang with them.
Yeah. I don't think Washington's just going to let Seattle just, run up and down, their home turf, right? Washington's at home also. So, I think every game on this remaining on Seattle schedule, they can very well lose it. They have Washington at home coming up this Sunday. Then they have, and then they go to LA to face the Rams, and then they're home against the 49ers. Then they have to go to Dallas to play the Cowboys. Then they got to go to San Francisco to play the 49ers, or Santa Clara rather. Then they have to go to, and then they're home against the Eagles, obviously. And then they have to go to Tennessee to face the Titans. Then they're home against the Steelers, and then they got to go to Arizona. So they're going to be doing a lot of back and forth, a lot of traveling. I just don't think, they're 5-3 right now. How many games they have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's entirely plausible that they can go, or they will go, 5-4 or 4-5 through that stretch.
They're in trouble if that's the case. I mean,
it's very possible. I mean, if the 49ers get, if the 49ers get their act together, if the Cowboys, continue to do what they do, and I mean, I don't think they're going to beat the Eagles. I just don't think that. If the Steelers find a way to, hang with them, the Steelers' defense is tremendous, and we've seen what happens when Seattle goes up against a remotely really good defense. We saw what happened when they went up against those Ravens, and I think the Steelers' defense is damn near comparable. Okay. And so I just don't think Seattle. The first part of their schedule was pretty favorable, and they took advantage of it. They beat the Lions, they beat the Panthers, they beat the Giants, they beat the Cardinals. They found a way to beat the Browns with no Deshaun Watson. But in reality, I think Seattle was fun, but they're going to taper off towards the end. I think they might end. They may end the season being, I don't know, 10-7. You know what I mean?
I can't say I'd be shocked by that. I think that'll. Yeah, I think they're probably on the outside looking in if that's the case, most likely. But they're going to be right on the borderline. All right, I'm going to piss a lot of people off here, but I'm just trying to be honest. I think they go 2-3, Tone. The more I think about it, I think they go 2-3. All right, so I'll give you the wins that I feel. I think Buffalo's a win. Feel good about that. I think they beat I'm sorry. I think they beat. I'm burying the lead here. I think they win at Kansas City. I know that sounds crazy, but I feel good about this. I know Andy Reid's track record coming off the bye. I get it. It's at Kansas City. I feel like they win that one, win Buffalo the next week, and then this is going to put people into a tizzy and scare the bleep out.
A 3-game losing streak. Is that what you're calling for?
Yes.
I know it's Friday, Rob, but damn.
I haven't started. I haven't even happy hour hasn't even begun. But what I think is going to happen is people are going to lose their mind, but the Eagles are going to rebound and win the last 3 games. It's going to get them to 13-4, and they're still going to get the 1 seed. Yes.
Have you had your Cheerios this morning?
I didn't have enough. Maybe I see. Everybody's
this
angry
is
now. I'm
this
sorry.
Is the problem.
I'm not trying to be.
Hey, listen, Eagles fans, I'm with y'all right now. I'm with y'all. I'm not understanding what Rob's on right now. I'm not feeling this vibe.
So
this vibe right now.
I would think that somebody like Dank would know me better than to say I'm just saying something to get a rise out of people. I don't do that. I don't. I'm not. Am I a hot taker, Tony?
No, not
at all. In fact,
you're very lukewarm. Very lukewarm taker.
Hot takers. No, I'm pragmatic, and I tell you how. See, to me, hot takers are full of shit. They make things up and they just say things to get people, riled up. I don't do that. I'll tell you however I feel, whether you like it or not. And I'm just telling you, I feel like a Danny Downer. Yes, give it to me, man.
2 and 3. I thought I was being modest with 3 and 2, but geez, man, 2 and 3.
Brandon says I need the gas you're smoking. I love it. I love it.
What can I do to change your mind?
All right, here's what scares me. I'm being honest with you. I hate that I think they lose that San Francisco game. Let me just say, I hate myself for saying it. So I hate that. M. Reyes, Rob Cilio, you guys are tough. I think that's going to be a tough game. It's a revenge game for the Niners. Some of that's going to depend. Like if Purdy looks bad the next 2 weeks, I will absolutely change that.
Right. I mean, yes, this is a week-to-week league. So, I mean, we are just making casual predictions, but these teams can look very different 2-3 weeks from now.
So that one, I will give myself the leeway to hop off and it becomes 3-2 if that's the case. At Dallas is a revenge game for the Cowboys, and they absolutely have to win that game. I'm sorry. I know people don't want to hear it. I think that's a Cowboys win at Dallas.
I mean, I'm with you on that.
Okay.
But,
at Seattle, weird stuff happens with this team. They lost in 2017. If you remember, they lost at Seattle, and then they went to LA. That was the Wentz game when he got hurt. But they lost the week before at Seattle. Even when they're good, they lose to Seattle. So and they lost in the playoffs to them a couple of years the next year, right? Or what was it, 2 years later, whatever.
They played them twice in the same season. They played them they actually, in a 2-year span, they played Seattle like 3 times. So.
Mr. Taz, Rob on that purple ember bleep from that dude who sits on the corner of 69th Street on Friday.
Oh my goodness! Listen. Rob, I understand. I completely understand. You're trying to be as pragmatic as you possibly can be, right? But look at this. Look at this upcoming schedule for before we go to break. Look at this upcoming schedule for the 49ers, right?
You guys are very funny, by the way.
They're at the Jags. They got their home against the Buccaneers. They're on the road against the Seahawks. They're on the road against the Eagles, and then they have the Seahawks at home. Yeah, that's going to be a tough stretch for the 49ers. Now, maybe it's one of those situations where they look at it as they got to have it, so they're going to bring their A game. But 49ers going to bring their A game regardless in that matchup. But I just have a hard 2 and 3 just seems
okay. Look, again, the one game I'm going to give myself an out on is San Francisco. I'm telling you, if Purdy keeps looking bad and turning the ball over, I'll flip that one, and I'm going 3-2 if that's the case. So that's kind of where I'm at. I get it. Everybody's mad at me. Okay.
Hey, listen,
man. I try to be honest. Tone. I try to tell you how I feel. I'm just being honest.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. Look, I said 3-2, but I can't find the second. I'm having a hard time picking the second loss. You know what I mean? So
I get it.
So look, I'm rolling with 3-2.
Okay.
Sparse it out however you got to sparse it out, Eagles fans. But I'm rolling with the 3-2. I think they go 3-2 over that stretch.
And by the way, I know you guys are busting my balls. I trust me. My dad was a ball buster. I could take ball busting. I mean, I'm telling you, I grew up with a ball buster.
Yeah. My dad as well.
Oh man. So all right. That's where we look at it. And you guys, again, you want to keep telling us how you feel about it. We'll do that. So a couple things I think are going to be fun today that we're going to do.
Dynasty. D Nasty says, she says, just disappointed.
I know. That's even worse than being mad at me. If your parents said to you, I'm not even mad, I'm disappointed. You're like, oh
man.
If you got the disappointed line, you were in trouble. Couple things we're going to do. One, coming up at 12 o'clock, we're going to look at the Eagles who flew the nest, Tone. Guys who left here, and we're going to see what they're doing. Some of the production might surprise you either way, good and bad. Because there were some that we really worried about that left that it's kind of like, and others that we didn't probably think enough about that are doing really well where they're at. So we're going to do that at 12 o'clock. We're going to come back and examine the whole winning ugly thing. You're talking about a team that's 8-1. that's won a lot of close games that some people aren't satisfied with. And it's fascinating to me. So let's get into the whole clutch gene, how much, not much better they could be, but they could be undefeated, I guess. But looking at guys maybe not necessarily playing their A game, but still having the ability to win football games. So let's talk about that when we come back. We got a lot to do. We'll get into all the big games in the NFL this week, as we always do, and a bunch of other stuff. So don't go anywhere. He's Tony Shields in for D-Gun. I'm Rob Ellis. Let's talk, man. It's Friday. I'll be there later, friends. Bravo Pizza of Havertown. Yes, been going there since I was a kid. They've been family owned since 1985. Alex and his crew are just absolutely amazing at what they do. They have 20 different styles of pizza. They have slices to go. They have the upside down, which I will be getting later. They also have specialized pizza. However you like it, they will make it for you. And they just don't do pizza. They have fresh pasta. They have sandwiches. They have wraps. They have killer wings. They have salads. But the other great thing about Bravo Pizza of Havertown is they're committed to the community. They have fundraisers for charity, schools, little leagues, where the proceeds go to those organizations. You can follow them at the Bravo Pizza of on Instagram and Facebook for daily specials and promotions. They're located at 1305 Westchester Pike, Manoa Shopping Center in Havertown. 1305 Westchester Pike, Manoa Shopping Center in Havertown. Give them a call right now, 610-446-3810, 610-446-3810. Here's a little bit more on Bravo Pizza of Havertown.
I remember getting my heart broken when they lost the Super Bowl in 2004. We're big Eagles fans. We moved to South Philly because of the Eagles. When they won, we went straight to Broad Street, and everybody was going nuts over there, and it was just a memory that you'll never forget.